Welcome back, sleepyheads. So right before the break, we started stage 14. You looked at the vocab words, derivatives, famous phrases, you read the culture section and did some questioning with that. And before we dive into the grammar video, I wanted to go over these model sentences with you, the stories at the very, very beginning of stage 14, just to kind of ease you back into Latin and also to reintroduce some of our characters who showed up in the Blue Book and are part of Sawius's familia. So, if you'll recall, this bearded guy right here is Pilus, Sawius's personal secretary, and here is Warwica, the overseer of the slaves, a slave himself. And as usual, everyone in Britannia, in Britain, looks really very, very depressed. So pay close attention to nouns and adjectives and their relationship. That's the grammar topic for this stage. So here we go. Multi amporae sunt in plaustro. Well, this means many jars, I guess you could say. An amphora is this guy right here, used for all kinds of things. Probably wine here, maybe garum, that nasty fish sauce we've talked about. Many jars are in the wagon. Stage 14 vocab word. And Warwick says, Pile, porta, hancam, portam in wheelam. Whoa, look at that. Now, I noticed before the break in one of the videos, I think it was on Bregons, I asked about what case a noun is in when you call somebody out by name, and that is the vocative case. So his name is Pilus. Nouns in the vocative only change their spelling if they end in us or ius. All other nouns just keep it the same as the nominative. So Pilus, and now here we have a command which usually accompanies an imperative. Porta, which means carry. All you do is you just chop off the T, right? You've got porta, carry this jar into the house. And Pilus says, amporta magna est. The jar is big. Difficile est mihi magnam amportam portare. Ooh, portare. You've got this verb form right here. When a verb form ends in an re, going back to stage 13 gram, that's called an infinitive translated to verb. So Pilus says, it is difficult for me to carry a big jar. Warwick says, Cur, why? And Pilus says, Quod ego sum senex, because I am an old man. So Warwick moves along, and he finds, our twins. Of course, we have Loquax right here, the one who is slightly larger, I guess you could say, and then Anti-Loquax, this one who is a tad bit skinnier, the twins, and he's Warwica gemenos in area conspicit, which means Warwica catches sight of the twins in the courtyard, and Warwica says, Loquax, Anti-Loquax, again, vocative. Portate! Ooh, when you tell more than one person to do something, all you do is you take the verb form portat, for example, and you add an E. Or another way of looking at it is you just chop off the RE in the infinitive and put a TE instead. Portate hancam portam in wheelam. Bring this jar into the house. And Loquax, the talkative one, says, Amporta gravis est. The jar is heavy. Difficile est nobis, amportam gravem portare. It is difficult for us to carry a heavy jar. And Warwick says, Cur, why? And Loquax says, Quod nos sumus pueri, because we are boys. Good excuse. By the way, what's up with Warwick here? It doesn't even look like the same person whatsoever. That's okay. And so you know who he's going to go to next, of course, Bregons. Our boy Bregons. Oh, but look at him. Look at this power pose right here. My goodness gracious. Now, Bregons pro amporti stat. Bregons is standing. Pro means in front of the jars, and I think that's a new vocab word. And Warwick says, Bregons porta has amportas in wheelam. Bregons, vocative, carry, imperative, these jars into the house. Bregon says, Amportae graves sunt. Now, you'll notice this is an adjective right here, and it's describing amporae, just like in the previous sentence. Bregon says, these jars are heavy. Difficile est mihi amportas graves portare. Once again, we get that sentence. It's difficult for me to carry, infinitive, heavy jars. And Warwick says, sed necesse est. But it is necessary. And Bregon says, Cur, why? Ooh, flipping it up a little bit. And Warwick now has to answer the question, Necesse est tibi amporas portare, I'll stop right there. It is necessary for you for you to carry the jars, quod pilus est senex, because Pilus is an old man, quod loquax et frater sunt pueri, because Loquax and his brother are boys, and then he gets cut off by Bregons himself, who says, quod tu es vilicus, and because you are the overseer. So, hope this was a good way to transition back, and now go on and watch the video on noun adjective matching.